right, here we go. Welcome to Potholes to Paved Roads. My name is Jonathan Overstreet. I am your host. What is Potholes to Paved Roads about? Well, Potholes to Paved Roads is about a guy who rides around in a 2014 Toyota Sienna van delivering pizza for Domino's. It's my second job. I work also for the United States Postal Service, and part of the reason we call this Potholes to Paved Roads is because Tulsa has quite a few potholes. And I will admit, I've said it before, I'll say it again, my wife came up with the name for the podcast, and I love it. I think it's great, especially considering my last name is Overstreet. So, anyway, guys, I'm so happy you guys are listening today. Thank you for tuning in. Believe it or not, I don't do very many take twos on podcasts. Most of the time I just don't even edit it out. But I don't know what it is about today, but this is like take 3 or take 4. I don't know, I just couldn't get my mind straight today. I just been in a little bit of a funk when it comes to being able to concentrate. You know, I guess I'm just excited because I got a little mini vacation coming up that's not going to cost us very much money. And going to get to go see a friend of mine that used to be an associate pastor when I was a worship pastor at the same church. Great guy, awesome family. I love spending time with these guys, and it's going to be cool to get to catch up a little bit. I guess I'm excited about that. I'm excited for some changes coming. I'm quitting Domino's at the end of September, and I don't know. I'm just excited for what things are to come, and I don't know. God is good, man. That's all I can say. God is good. A little bit jazzed still about the service we had yesterday at the Life Church at Catoosa campus. I mean, it was phenomenal. The praise and worship music was great. The sermon was great. And I don't know if I would consider this, when I'm talking to people who don't believe in this type of stuff, who might not have a relationship with God, talking about church, I don't know if that's necessarily preaching at you, because I'm not telling you what we did or as far as the sermon and stuff. I'm just telling you how good of a time I had. It's so refreshing, guys. And anyway, I don't want to get completely off the subject here, but it's been a good weekend. And I just finished my first delivery for today. I'm headed back to the store. I only got a couple minutes to let you guys know. So let's just for a second, let's recap what we learned in the last episode. This episode here, this is episode number 2 of a 2-part series on the baby steps, the Ramsey baby steps. We're talking about Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University. Last episode we talked about baby step 1 and baby step 2. Baby step 1 is $1,000 in emergency fund. Baby step 2 is you list your debts smallest to largest, and you pay off everything with the exception of the house. You pay off everything. You just go right in order from the smallest to the largest. Well, me and my wife, we're on baby step 2. We're at the very last item that we need to pay off in baby step 2, which is we owe $12,000 on this van that I'm riding around in right now and doing this podcast. So once we get that paid off, we're moving into baby step 3. Well, in this episode today, I want to talk about baby step 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I know it sounds like a lot, but guys, if you'll just give me a couple minutes, I promise it's not going to be no hour. I guarantee you that. I can make it brief. So, we've talked about baby step 1 and baby step 2 already. Let's talk about number 3. Number 3 is you go back to baby step 1, that $1,000 that you put in a savings account, emergency fund, and you build that up to 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. So, that's going to be the next step for me and my wife. As soon as we get our van paid off, the $12,000 we owe, boom. We're hoping by the end of September, early October, that we'll be able to start slamming the money in the savings account and build it up. Now, we're not putting it in any kind of mutual fund or anything like that. It's just a straight, it could be a money market account or just a regular old savings account at a bank, which is probably what we're going to end up doing. But that emergency fund money, it's just a cushion. That's all it is. It's just it's just for emergencies. It's not to pull money out of for something you want to buy and then throw it back in. It's for an emergency. That's what it's for. And I've heard them say on Dave Ramsey Show, and I love the way they put it, when you have a 3 to 6 months emergency fund, also called a fully funded emergency fund, when you have that, emergencies aren't emergencies anymore. they're just inconveniences. That's all they are. Because you just take some money out, you pay for whatever the emergency is, and you put the money right back in. So that's baby step number 3. Let's move on. Baby step number 4 is where you turn your retirement back on. I think in the last episode I talked about, I said turn off your retirement. I don't know if that's, I guess that's good phrasing, but another way to say it is this: just pause your retirement. As you're doing baby step 1, 2, and 3, just pause your retirement. It's just temporary, guys. Most people go from baby step 1 up to baby step 4 within about 2 years. That's average. For us, it's going to be right around 2 years as well. Maybe a year and a half to, well, no, it's going to be closer to 2 years, I think, that we've had this journey of paying off debt. And you know what? We must now pause. I will be back at 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. All right, baby step number 4. We're turning back on our retirement. That's what we're doing. This is where that retirement kicks back in. Turn it back on, and okay, this is what Dave Ramsey calls for, is 15%. Is putting 15% of your annual income into retirement. That's you and your wife combined. Both of you guys combined. You get together, put 15% into retirement. So that's what he calls for. And the reason he calls for that is because they noticed a correlation between most of the millionaires that they studied. I think I heard today, if I remember the number right now, don't quote me on the number, but I think he said 10,168 is how many millionaires that they studied. And when I say a millionaire, I don't think I said it in the last episode, it's pretty easy to understand, I think. When I say a millionaire, I'm not talking about somebody who makes $1 million a year. I'm talking about somebody, you take everything they owe and everything they own, you subtract the two, and they have at least $1 million more than what they owe. That's what I mean by that. And so that means they're what's called they call them everyday millionaires. Most of the millionaires they studied, 15% is what they shot for as far as a good amount to put into retirement. It's not too much, it's not too little, it's just right. So that's what you want to shoot for, 15% going back into your retirement. And if you do that, see, that's the thing with me and my wife. When we retire, I want to have some money. I'm not doing it because I'm greedy. I'm not doing it just because I want to go out and buy the most expensive car that I can find. That's not, I mean, that'd be good. I mean, that might be something kind of fun to be able to spend a little money. But I'm wanting to be able to retire comfortably, because once I hit that retirement age, me and my wife, I want us to be able to retire and do whatever we want. And I don't mean just sitting around. I mean, we could go out and do something that maybe I've always wanted to do, or she's always wanted to do, that we might not get paid for it. It might be just some a ministry of some sort, or it might be it could be anything. In other words, we're not going to be dependent on a paycheck from whatever we're doing. We're going to be able to do what we want to do. Don't get me wrong, I love being a postal carrier. I absolutely love it. It's a wonderful job. I'm not just saying that. I know I'm a pretty positive and optimistic person, but I really thoroughly enjoy being a mailman. I love getting to interact with the people every day I get to see. It's just a fun job. Now, over time, I'm sure it'll wear on my body a little bit, because I do quite a bit of walking. But it's okay. When retirement gets here, if I keep putting that 15% into retirement, I'm going to retire with some money, and I'm not going to have to worry about things. I'm going to have financial peace now, because I know that I'm doing the right thing, and I'm going to have financial peace then, because I know that I've done the right thing, and I won't have to worry about things. That's the whole point behind this, guys. Okay, baby step number 5. I'm going to run through this one. Now, this one is the one that me and my wife struggle with the most. So we've got a 9-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 14-year-old. So, baby step number 5 is starting an ESA, which is an educational savings account, or a 529, which is also, it's an educational account. It's a college fund is what it is. And man, that's where I might be a little different than Dave on this stuff. I don't know. I almost see it from the standpoint of I would much rather my kid be able to try to get scholarships and go to a college that we can afford, and maybe us try to cash flow part of it. And that student is going to work. My kid is going to work while they're in college. They're not going to be getting they're not going to be playing beer pong when they're not studying. They're going to be working. So that is, I'm firm about that. I really want my kids to be working. I want them to know what it means to work while they're in school. I don't want them to be a full-time student. I can't stand that term. Full-time student, that drives me nuts. It just drives me nuts. I don't like that term. Because when I think full-time student, I think all you do is study and go to school. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's an ROI, there's a return for your investment in school if you get a good degree in something you can actually use. But like Dave Ramsey says, if you get a degree in left-handed poetry, or if you get a degree in underwater basket weaving, what are you going to do with that? There's nothing you can do. So you've been wasting all your time. But anyway, baby step 5 is college fund. I'm not going to speak too much on that because I don't think me and my wife are actually going to do that one. I just don't think we will. We've got other ways that we're gonna do because anyway, I'm not gonna go into that. So I'm gonna have to pause again. But hey, I'll be right back. All right, I am back. So, all right, where were we? We were in baby step number 5. And baby step number 5 is college fund for the kids. And I already let you guys know I'm not necessarily planning on doing that for my kids. Oh my goodness. I'm sure to some people that stinking sounds sacrilegious or something. But you guys got to understand something. So I'm sorry, but I've got to go off on this just for a second. This won't be long, but I've got to say this. So you got to understand the background I come from. Me and my brother were the first ones in our family to go to college. As far as I know, I don't think anybody on my dad's side of the family went to college at all. I'm not bashing my dad's side of the family, but most of my dad's family, I don't think even finished high school. So that's kind of the background I come from on that side. The other side, I think some of my mom's family did go to college, but it wasn't a whole lot of them. My mom didn't go to college. She worked for State Farm Insurance her entire career, and she worked there for like 38 years. So, but anyway, so when it comes to college, I'm a little bit, I guess I look at it a little bit different than some other people because I feel like I'm doing fine and I didn't go to college. I know I have to work a lot. There might be other people out there that might make a whole lot more money than me, but I tell you what, I'm excited about my job and I do love what I do. So I would consider that a winner. On my wife's family, I think her stepmom went to college, got a couple of degrees, I believe, and I think maybe my wife's youngest sister is going to go to college. I'm pretty sure her youngest sister is also going to go to college. I'm pretty sure. But when it comes to me and the way I look at it is this. I actually had, my mom told me, said, look, if you go to college, you're going to have to come up with a way to pay for it. And you know what, guys? There is no rule that says a parent has to pay for their kids to go to college. That's not a rule. That's a cultural thing. That's something that culture has just built up. And let me take a minute and tell you about a girl that I used to go to church with, a young lady. I watched her grow up. She's quite a bit younger than us, but I watched her grow up, and I was so blessed by the fact that the last time that we got together with this family, and me and my wife got to see this young woman who's now in college. She's working 3 jobs, going to college. I think she's a junior, and so far she has 0. I repeat, 0 in student loans. She has not done any student loans. I'm so proud of that girl, I don't know what to do. She is who people like Anthony O'Neill from Dave Ramsey, she is the kind of people that he teaches. She is the kind of people you turn into when you take his teachings. I don't even know if she knows who he is, but that's what he's all about. And the way I see it is this: if my kids want to go to college, we're going to really push them to try to do scholarships as much as possible, hopefully academic scholarships. But we're also going to look at other avenues like my son Nathan. I've got a feeling that my son Nathan might not go to traditional college. I've got a feeling he might go to more of a trade school type type thing. That's what I think. Now, I could be wrong, but that's what it comes off to me like he would do better with a trade school. But we'll see. I mean, I'm not going to pressure my kids. I'm not going to push my kids when it comes to that. So anyway, I'm off my soapbox. I'm sorry. Okay, baby step number 6 is, do you remember baby step 2? You're paying off debt. You're squeezing your budget as much as you can. Well, baby step number 6, it's kind of like you do that again. But you don't have to go bare bones here. You don't have to go scorched earth, as Dave Ramsey likes to say. You just take every bit of extra money that you can come up with, and you throw it at your house. You get your house payment knocked out, and then finally, to top it all off, the cherry on top, baby step number 7. Think about it, guys. Baby step 7. You don't owe a dime for anything. You pay your monthly bills. You pay your monthly expenses. You're not giving money to banks. You're not paying for things that you bought years ago. You get to keep your money. You know what you got when you don't have debt? You got money. And that's what me and my wife are looking forward to. That is the future that we're striving for. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in today. You guys rock, man. I sure appreciate you, the people that listen to this program, and I have an absolute blast doing it. It's a whole lot of fun. What in the world is this music playing? All right, that's better. So much better. Okay, I just want to say thanks again, guys, for listening. You guys rock. And don't forget, man, Potholes to Pave Roads, we're on Twitter. It's at Potholes to Pave Roads. We're on Instagram, hashtag Potholes to Pave Roads. Even though technically I haven't done much with Instagram yet, but anyway, we'll get there. It's a process, baby steps, right? Baby steps. So, excuse me, but we're on Twitter. We're on, also, we now have a Facebook page. It's Potholes to Pave Roads podcast, the Facebook page. I like to post the podcast on there. We're also in a few different places, like the podcast itself can be found on Stitcher, Podbean, and soon to come, Pandora. But once again, today and the last episode too, I know we kind of went through these baby steps really fast. But guys, if you really want to get down and dirty with this stuff, like down to the nitty gritty with this stuff, look around at churches around you that might be having Financial Peace University. And I'm telling you, it will change your life. Also, they have a lot of online stuff going right now. They have a lot of online classes you can take where you don't actually have to go to a church or to a facility to have the class. You can do it online. And I can't remember exactly how much money that costs, but it's I think it's a one-time fee, and you get a certain kind of membership for a year, and you get all the stuff online. It's great, guys. It's really, really cool program. And I'm telling you, it changed my life. It could change your life. But guys, what you focus on is what you win at. What you put your mind to, what you put your eyes on, that's what you win at. And like I said a few episodes ago, don't focus on what's right in front of you. Focus on the finish line. Focus on what's beyond that. But guys, remember, on the road of life, it's not the destination, it's the journey. But watch out for the potholes, because you never know how deep they are.